So there are a couple of things I'd like to read to you. One of the things that I wanted to do in terms of a teacher experience for this was, because we have a lot of things that teachers have said, but this gives you an example. As a teacher in a whole school we've implemented in upstate New York, and she walked into her classroom and they were all sitting around in a circle by themselves. And these are fifth graders. And they sat in there on their own and they were doing their mindful practice before school. And one little boy was over in the corner and he was sitting there and he was weeping. And when the teacher walked in, the kid came up to her and said, Johnny is sad because his daddy's going away. So she said, come here, what's going on? He said, my daddy's going away for 3 months and I won't be able to see him. So one little kid chimed in and said, oh, he said, my dad had brain cancer and I couldn't see him for 3 months when he was in the hospital. But now he's home and I can see him and I feel better. And one little kid said, well, my dad and my mom divorced and I wasn't able to see my dad and I was really, really mad. But now I see my dad every weekend and I look forward to it. And another little boy said, I haven't seen my dad since 2004 and I'm not going to see him until 2010. And you guys can figure out why. Little boy got up. He felt better. He was engaged. Community had been created. Safety. And a mind that was capable of learning. Because he came in with this pain and he was surrounded by the culture of the classroom that was an empathetic group of friends. Now, our children need to be able to feel these things. One more story, a little girl started to weep in class. And as you know, these emotions, I'm sure you guys have seen this. And the teacher didn't know what to do. And she said, what's wrong, honey? She said, I won't be going home to my mommy because I'm in a foster home for the first time and I have to leave my mom, my sisters and my brothers. So here's a little girl who was pulled out of her house for whatever reason and now she's going to live with a foster parent. And these are 6-year-olds. And one little 6-year-old boy put his arms around her from behind. And another one went and got her a Kleenex. Now this is in doing our mindful practice because part of our mindful practice is empathy, focus, gratitude. These are the things and acts of kindness that these children are learning to do for each other. We cannot build a society unless we really look at the importance of educating the entire child, the whole kit and caboodle. Because these kids are left outside. Their souls are not dealt with. How are we going to create great leaders in this world if they're not emotionally intelligent? You've got a lot of brilliant people in the world, but if they can't connect emotionally, then let them stay in a petri dish. We need people to go out there to be able to communicate not only what they've learned, but their perceptions, their ability to problem solve. That's who I want representing America. In terms of happiness, the United States of America is the second least happiest nation in the world where children are concerned. Our children, other than the UK, this is a UNICEF study, are the least happiest children in the world. Where does happiness come from? It comes from here. Happiness is something that emits dopamine and allows children to learn. These are brain-friendly strategies. Can't we create happier classrooms? Can't we create happier children? It's not frivolous. Happiness is a serious business. Every child has a right to be happy. So in this great United States of America, the reason I feel so strongly about it is because I love children from the bottom of my heart. And none of them ever should be unhappy. They need to be able to find their happiness, even in the midst of turmoil. They need to recognize it and to know that they have the power to go inside and feel it because it's theirs to own. And if we as educators can educate ourselves to elevate ourselves in order to help elevate our children, not just in the reading, writing, and arithmetic, but in reflection, 4 R's. Because that's how we're going to get our children to care for one another, but more importantly, to care about their precious selves. So, I could go on forever, but I just want to say that it's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to be home. It's a great honor to talk to all of you and give you a piece of my heart and a piece of my philanthropy. Because if we can't start with our children, then I don't know where we're going to go. Because we're in a little trouble right now. We're in a lot of trouble. When we don't graduate high school, 40% in California do not graduate high school. That's not acceptable. It's just not. So I love all of you because you're in the world of education. I want you to stay there and learn and grow and fight for what's right and be the greatest influence on your children, because you are. It's a lot of responsibility. It's like being a parent. Being a mother is a beautiful job. But we have to take it seriously, because it is the only time these children are ever going to get a chance. Be a mother, be a darn good mother. Be a teacher, hold that responsibility in your heart, because it's a big one. I love you.